Okay, so now we move on to disrupting home claims assessment. And I'm absolutely delighted to have with me Michael Porter, who's the Senior Leader of International Markets at CoreLogic. And Mike's going to take us through the amazing work that CoreLogic Claims are doing on disrupting claims assessment. Mike's a familiar face to many of us. For those of us who've been around the market for a long time, they'll probably know Mike from both sides of the supply chain. From working in solutions providers, but also working in on behalf of insurers in claims solutions. So Mike knows property claims inside and out. Great to have you with us, Mike. How are things?
Very good, thanks, Stuart. It's been a while for you and I since we spoke last, but it's nice to be on this platform, and I'm very appreciative of the invitation.
Brilliant. So I guess the first thing I'd like to get into is CoreLogic. Can you just give us a little bit of background as to the structure of the company and what you do? I mean, historically, the old guard amongst us will know Symbility, and I know there's been some work on brand recently. So could you just give us a headline summary of CoreLogic and what you guys do?
Happy to. So CoreLogic are one of the world's largest providers of data analytics services to the property industry. We're very much a property business, and we cover the life cycle of a property and really an individual's relationship with their home in particular, all the way from the three segments of that, which we call, the find, buy, and protect. So that's, the acquisition of the property, the financing of that property, whether that's in a rental context or in a purchase context, so mortgage providers and real estate agents as well. And then into the protect sector, which is obviously the part of what I do, which is everything from underwriting, risk management, catastrophe modeling, and claims. So that's obviously been my focus for more than the last decade. And so that's how the business that everybody would have known as Symbility in the UK previously has become part of the broader CoreLogic business.
So that's really interesting. So Symbility's gone from effectively being a claims assessment solution, but it's now part of a much wider ecosystem of home solutions, and actually from an insurance perspective, you cover the end-to-end range of insurance solutions and not just claims.
That's right. Yeah. So CoreLogic, primarily a US business, about $2 billion in revenue. The majority of our operations are in the US, but we have operations in 7 other international markets, including the UK and other markets in Europe. And so what was missing, if you like, in their value proposition for insurance was that they had some great underwriting workflow, risk data, weather verification technology, and solutions on the kind of front side of the risk management part of the insurance model, and also supporting underwriting. But they didn't have the claim solution. That was a missing part of their value proposition. So the acquisition of Symbility at the end of 2018 filled that gap. And since then, we've been working. We've been integrated. The system is no longer called Symbility. It's now CoreLogic Claims. So the Symbility brand is being phased out, but it's the same product, the same team in the market that you're familiar with, the same customers, and many of the same partners as well. But obviously part of a much larger organization. Fantastic.
We are ILC. We love claims. So can you just give me a quick snapshot of specifically what you're doing in claims as CoreLogic Claims?
Yeah, so the focus is still the same, really, which is we want to provide an ecosystem, to coin a more frequently used phrase these days. But we've always talked of a platform that enables collaboration within the claims lifecycle. And adds a bit of functional value along the way, not to do that down too much, but we create, we cover the whole end-to-end journey within a claim, and we try and do that for as many partners or as many parties within that journey as possible. So whether that's the insurer themselves, their supply chain partners of all different types, the policyholder, over the last few years, we've definitely been bringing the policyholder into that journey as well through direct interaction with the platform, and therefore the insurers and suppliers, and creating a unified journey for everybody to collaborate and drive a better experience, not just for the policyholder, which obviously is a focus, but also for the people out there in the trenches, if you like, doing the work, the people with muddy boots, the people out there fixing people's houses. We have a real belief that the people who manage claims want to make a positive difference to the people that they're interacting with, and our reason and our one of the things that drives us as an organization is to try and make that easier for the better experience of everybody involved.
That's really interesting, and evidenced by the fact that you've got some long-standing and really experienced claims guys in your team, which is always good to see.
That was a deliberate ploy.
I'm sure. I think that segues nicely into. I think we're going to show a short video showcasing CoreLogic claims, so people can get a better idea of specifically what you guys are working on.
Fantastic, thank you.
When a disaster strikes and one of your policyholders has an incident with their home, they only have one thing on their mind: getting their home and their life back to normal quickly and with as little friction as possible. You want to help them, but resolving claims takes a lot of effort from a lot of different people. How do you easily coordinate all the people, work, and information needed to resolve a claim? Here's how. Introducing ClaimsTech, a communication hub to help manage your workflow from FNOL to resolution to keep property claims moving forward. ClaimsTech is a single platform where all the information you need to resolve a claim can be found. All the people working on the claim, the information they need, and their actionable items in one place. No more disparate systems, missed messages, or to-dos written on sticky notes covering your desk. ClaimsTech's new interface automatically surfaces and prioritizes information and next steps as they're needed, ensuring that each claim is always moving forward. Meaning that everyone working to resolve a claim will always know what steps and actions need to be taken, and in what order, powered by an all-new rules-based engine. Now all the important work you need to get done can be done directly inside of ClaimsTech. No more having to switch between softwares to edit and review estimates. Make changes right within ClaimsTech. And best of all, everyone can access ClaimsTech wherever they need it most. Whether you're a desk adjuster in the corporate head office or a third-party contractor out on site, ClaimsTech can be accessed through any browser, on any device, and still gives you the same great easy-to-use and easy-to-understand interface. In fact, the all-new ClaimsTech is all about making it easy to keep your claims moving forward. Access the newly designed timeline to see all the actions that have already been taken on a claim, or easily search and filter to just the actions and information that you need to see. Smart notifications make sure you only get notified about important details or actions you need to take on the claims you are working on. And because they relate only to your tasks, notifications can easily be turned into your own personal to-do list. Combine notifications with your assignments list, and ClaimsTech will make sure you always know what your next move needs to be, because the system will automatically propose what your next assignment is after you've completed the last one. Each screen inside ClaimsTech has been purposely designed to help you get more done easily and efficiently by using contextual blades that pop out from the sides of the screen in order for you to quickly take action on the claim you're currently looking at. No more clumsily searching for the right page to take action on the information from another one, because ClaimsTech understands what you need to do and easily lets you get it done. This also includes easy ways to integrate data partners, like aerial roof reports, 3D measurement tools, weather or material identification data, and easy access to real-time reports that allow you to dig into what's happening with all the claims your department has on the go. So the next time a disaster strikes one of your policyholders' homes, don't make them wait to get their lives back to normal. Get your whole team on the same page, working smarter and more efficiently. Keep claims moving forward with ClaimsTech.
So that's a really fascinating insight into what you guys do. But I guess one of the things that fascinates me, Mike, is that Symbility's been around for a long time, and this is all about disrupting home assessment claims. Yeah. What gives you the right to say you're still disrupting? I think you are. I know you are. But tell me why you are.
Well, it's a great question, Stuart. And I think we have a number of things that we bring to the table. And it's not just about the functional value that we add in the product, whether that's, the innovation that we bring on site in terms of data capture, whether it's the automation that we can bring into a workflow. Those are things that we deliver and that we continue to innovate on. We have to do that because our customers demand it of us. There's no, one thing we never do is take their trust and support for granted. They put their faith in us under a contract which has a certain amount of time to run, and if we're not continuing to deliver new value at the end of the agreement, then they'll start looking elsewhere for that value. So we have to keep doing that throughout. I think where we really add our value is the enablement of the digitization of the workflow and the process. So it's easier to look at very small parts of that value chain and try and focus in on how you can really affect, let's say, a productivity benefit within that. But what we try and do is ensure that the unpredictability of property claims is enabled in a workflow model that can change. And as we all know about property claims, one day they can be small and the next day they can be huge. You don't know which way they're going to go. Without oversimplifying the motor industry in claims, it's a little more linear. At least, if you've got a car to fix, it's likely to go through a similar process, but every property is different. So we've differentiated ourselves over the years and been able to support that multi-tiered complex workflow. Nowadays, what we're trying to do is ensure that we can take that platform and the kind of product maturity that we've got and enable our carrier customers, our supply chain customers, to access some of the more innovative technology through our stable platform. So whether that's through partnerships with organizations like SiteCall, where we can facilitate the use of their products, or whether it's perhaps in other areas of the value chain, data capture on site through augmented reality, whether our own or others. We're trying to drive that process so that as the data is captured and created in these workflows and these parts of the value chain, we're bringing it all into one place and making it available to people to process the claims faster, create a better outcome for everybody.
So you've got great people, long-standing claims people. You've got a platform that can facilitate the use of all kinds of solutions, including non-proprietorial ones. But underpinning it, you still have Symbility, which is obviously a leading home claims assessment solution. Is that kind of paraphrase?
That's absolutely right. Yeah, the people side of it is a key point. We've deliberately, over the years that I've been involved in the business, and since I started leading the business in 2015 in the UK, we've recruited actively claims people with claims expertise, both supply chain and on the carrier side, to bring their different perspectives to both how the product has evolved in its functionality, but also how it's deployed for our customers.
Perfect. So just a few things, a few other sort of themes that I think would be interesting to pull out. I mean, one of the great things about technology and claims at the moment is that it's not just the simple linear relationship between insurers and providers anymore. There's much more cross-fertilization between different parts of the supply chain. In the olden days, you would have just been talking to insurers and saying, insurers buy Symbility. Who are your customers now? What sectors should be looking to CoreLogic for solutions?
Well, it's very interesting. We've actually made a huge amount of progress over the years where, businesses have different technology strategies. So I'll start with the carriers. Obviously, they're the people who control the technology strategy at the top end. They determine the claims management philosophy, and that often determines quite significantly which parts of our solutions are deployed and where. But over the years, as we've certainly in the UK and other parts of Europe made penetration into the supply chain, where the supply chain have been using our applications, they've started to see value in it themselves for the benefit of their own business. So, one of the key ways that those businesses differentiate themselves often is their use of technology and how they can take that to drive a better result, whether that be in cost or customer journey or whatever. And what we're finding now is that some of those organizations are choosing to leverage our technology to support their service offering in a lot more detail. So that's been a big change, certainly the last couple of years. But then on top of that, you've also we consider all of our user groups to be our customers. So every user experience has to be focused on their needs. So whether they have the software mandated to them or whether they've elected to use it themselves, their user experience is important to us. We need to make sure that they want to use the product, because if they don't want to use the product, they will work around it, and that undermines its value. Because if the data isn't consistent and of high quality in terms of what's created in the product, then the insurers or the supply chain organizations creating the claims in the first place don't get the value that they want. The policyholder doesn't get the complete picture when they're interacting with the product. And so, we focus on delivering for all of our users as customers, regardless of who's originating the claim in the product.
And give me a quick sense of a case study that you're most proud of, Mike. An example of the use of the solutions that you're most excited and proud of.
But, it's interesting. There's a couple of relationships in the UK that are now, pretty long in the tooth. Like we've successfully extended those relationships over a number of contract terms and made significant progress in each one of those periods, if you like. I can't, necessarily name names, but one of the things that we did, which was a market first, I believe, in the UK, although I may get fact checked on that, was the ability to really bring the policyholder into the workflow. So where, on what are typically longer tail buildings damage claims where, there's multiple suppliers involved, there's a significant level of complexity, the policyholder, we used to talk about this in the early, in the late noughties and the early 2010s when people were saying, no, the policyholder feels like a project manager in their claim. And, they're the one at the center of it that are managing all these suppliers. Well, what we've actually done is, I think we'd solved for that a lot by enabling collaboration between suppliers without direct interaction from the insurance company within our platform. So, if a drying company needs to instruct an asbestos testing company, they can do it. They don't need to go back and forwards and send bits of paper or make phone calls. It just happens within the product. And I think what we've then done is, which has made a huge impact both on the quality of the supply chain adoption, the data created and the value from the product, is we've brought the policyholder into that workflow. Yeah. So they can see who's who, when are they being engaged, what's next, what are the next best actions. And we've made that a reality. There's a lot of the supply chain organizations have been doing that for their own section of the value chain for a long time. But what we've been able to do as an independent software provider, if you like, is expand that value across the whole of a workflow, which includes often 4 or 5 suppliers, lots of complexity perhaps, but in a very easy to look at, easy to interact with user interface. So very proud of that. It's been a great success. And one thing that long answer, but one thing that I will just say is we've proven that, and this was in 2017, we proved that the policyholder is ready for digital engagement. We knew that before COVID, before people were, doing remote assessments to the level that they are now. People have been ready for this for a long time. So I'm very proud of that, and I'm proud that we were able to enable that for our customer, who was the driver of the strategy.
Yeah, I remember the very first ILC, Mike, sure you do, when we yes. talked at length about the customer project managing their own claims and how awful that was, the customer experience. It's much more complex as a problem, customer solutions in home claims. But if there was one silver bullet, that would be it for me. If you can take that responsibility away from customers and having to coordinate their own claim, that's a real, feels like a silver bullet to me. So good luck with that. Mike, anything that you want to just do you want to conclude with?
I just want to take this opportunity while I've got this platform to speak, really, Stuart, just to thank all of the businesses and partners and customers that work with us in the UK market. We've, as you say, been here a long time. They've showed a huge amount of faith in our business and our products. I like to think that we delivered a lot of value along the way, but I just would like to take this opportunity to thank them and also my team for their continued hard work and the value that they bring to our organization every day.
That's a lovely way to finish. Thanks very much, Mike.
Thanks, Stuart.